All right, Fitlifers, Drew Canoli. I'm here with a very good friend and legend. This guy, Jonny Bowden. He drove all the way down from LA.
All the way down, 2 whole hours.
2 whole hours on a Saturday, though.
Yeah,
right?
true.
I mean, to offer us some information that could literally change your guys' life. So I'm glad you're here. Jonny, you want to listen to him. You want to grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. He's a PhD. He's traveled all over the world. He spoke at Peking University. He's been on CNN a couple times. He's been on Dr. Oz. He has 3 best-selling books. The Cholesterol Myth.
The Great Cholesterol Myth? That's the one that got us on Dr. Oz. Yeah.
That's the one that got him on Dr. Oz. So really good information. And if you take just one action step today from Jonny, it'll be the catalyst to change your entire life. So I'm so excited you're here.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to meet you.
We're going to make a juice in this video. And also, we forgot one thing to add to the juice, which is really important.
Avocados.
With the new UN22, right?
Absolutely. We're going to talk about avocados.
So let's go to the market real quick.
Okay.
Let's grab the avocado. Sit tight, you guys. Follow this video. At the end of it, we're going to be giving away one of these juicers. Jonny and I are going to pick out one of the comments that you leave on the blog below to pick and give away a brand new juicer.
That's a good deal.
Right?
Yeah.
Just for tuning in and learning, you get access to that.
That's good.
Let's hit the market. We'll come back and we'll make this juice recipe. So what is the Rogue Nutritionist?
Well, that was the moniker, the Rogue Nutritionist, was given to me because I tend to veer off track and go off the reservation when it comes to conventional wisdom on nutrition. I do not believe cholesterol causes heart disease.
Yeah.
I think we've been completely misled about saturated fat. I don't think coffee is necessarily bad for us. I don't think soy is a health food. So there's a lot of things.
Coffee is not bad?
Well, not according to the research.
All right.
The new UN22 is a program to turn people from sugar burners into fat burners.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? If you think about your typical person who's terribly overweight and unhappy about it and is storing a ton of fat on their body and they're on the treadmill every day, why aren't they losing weight?
Yeah.
Because they're not accessing that fat. Fat is the natural fuel of the body. That's why we were talking about avocados. It's the best stuff to eat. Because when you eat fat, you can burn fat. But these folks are not accessing that, so they're relying only on sugar. And that's why they're hungry all the time. That's why they continue to crave.
So things like pasta,
exactly.
Things like all the cereals that they eat.
Exactly, and I'm glad you brought that up because people think when you say cut the sugar, they're talking about the Dominoes that you put into coffee. We're talking about foods that turn into sugar in a heartbeat, like cereals and pastas and potatoes and rice and all that stuff. So New UN22,
you got an admirer over here.
New UN22 actually helps you reset your metabolism and get your hormones working properly.
So
because
it's a metabolic upgrade.
It's a metabolic upgrade. That's a great way to put it because if you don't have your hormones getting the right messages to the cells, which is to burn fat, use fat for energy, you're going to be perpetually holding on to that fat.
Yep.
So if you're not accessing fat, not only are you not losing fat, you're also tired all the time.
Yes.
How old do you think I am?
45?
67.
67
yes,
years old?
Folks.
67
yes.
years old. Proof and demonstration, Fitlifer. New UN22 is
and
a
avocado.
program that's coming out.
Yeah.
Right? And we're going to get
on
them,
the 22nd, perfectly.
Yeah, first time access to this. So you're going to get access to it at the end of the video just by clicking the link, and you get to hear from Jonny and the rest of the guys that he works with, which are some of my really, really good friends that have put this together for you.
Good guys.
And you've created an amazing program.
Thank you.
So I know you want to hear about hormones, Fitlifer, and that's what I want to do.
Okay.
Let's we need to get more stuff for our juice recipe too.
Yeah, good.
So let's take a break. We'll grab some stuff for the juice recipe.
Good.
We're going to go back to my pad and we'll talk about hormones in a second.
Perfect.
All right, Fitlifers, we made it back from the market. So you mentioned the Hormone Symphony. And
we talk about that.
We talked about it a little bit. So tell the Fitlifer what that is and how they can apply it to their life.
Okay, a little background. All weight gain is driven by hormones.
Yep.
And that's why we see so many people who are obese, who are on treadmills, and they're doing the best they can, and the fat doesn't bulge.
Yep.
And it's partly because the hormonal messages to burn fat are not getting through. It's sort of like an email that just doesn't send. You keep pressing it, and it's just not finding the receiver.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
So you have leptin?
Well, you have a bunch of hormones.
Yep.
But the first one that we should probably talk about before we even get to leptin is insulin.
Insulin
is your basic fat-making hormone and fat-storing hormone. And it also, not only does it make fat and does it store fat, it locks the doors to the fat cells. So when your insulin levels are high, you don't burn fat. You can't access the fat cells.
Yeah.
The fat cells are locked. They're finished. They're not listening.
Okay.
So the first thing that has to be managed is insulin. But what we found, I wrote an entire book about this, Living Low Carb, talking about managing insulin. It's very, very important, but it's not the whole story, because there's actually about 6 other hormones that are involved in appetite regulation, fat burning, fat storage, that work together with insulin. So insulin's a big part of the picture. It's not the whole picture, and that's what we mean by the hormonal symphony.
That makes sense. So I heard insulin's like your mom. Insulin comes in the room and tells you to put all your stuff away.
Yes,
right?
except it's supposed to put all that stuff away into the muscle cells.
Yeah.
And in the way things are supposed to work.
Instead, it puts it here.
Because the cells
You like
stop
that?
listening to it. And then we got leptin,
Yep.
which is our appetite hormone. Leptin is actually what tells the brain you're full and to stop eating. Right?
Yeah.
It's very hard to diet and lose weight if you're hungry all the
Yep.
time. So this is a very good mechanism, right?
Yep.
That we have. That belly's full, tells the brain stop
Yep,
eating.
shut it off.
Okay. So they figured this is going to be the magic potion for weight loss. Obese people probably don't have enough leptin. Let's give them more leptin.
Yeah.
Bombed. Because what they found out is obese people have plenty of leptin. But the message isn't getting to the brain. They're leptin resistant.
Okay.
So the first thing we got to do...
So it's going to this, if you're sending an email, it's going to the spam box.
It's going to this, it's not even getting to the spam box. It's going to, the rainbow thing is going round and round and round. It's trying to land and it's not landing.
All right.
So what we have to do is we have to bring down insulin,
Yep.
and we have to let the leptin message get to the brain to say that you're full.
Yep.
And then there's other hormones like cortisol, which are the stress
Yep.
hormones. And they actually tell the body to store more fat, because when your stress hormones are
Yep.
elevated, your body thinks you're in an emergency.
Yep.
So they want to store, and they break down muscle, which lowers your metabolic rate even more. So you've got insulin and cortisol and leptin, and then there's ghrelin and
Yep.
adiponectin. There's all these hormones that work together to either cause fat burning or cause fat storage. And one of the things in our program that's most central to it is getting that hormonal symphony to stop playing like a kazoo band and start playing like the New York Philharmonic.
And that's what you do, because I've seen it. You have like the supplement protocol, the way to eat, the right way to eat, the right way to sleep, different hacks that you can do.
Exactly.
And sleep was another thing you had mentioned as well at the farmer's market, which
Yeah.
makes a huge impact in lowering the cortisol, doing that metabolic makeover as well.
One of the things that interferes with those hormones are stress, sleep, and toxins. So there's really 5 pathways to metabolic health, not just 2. Everyone knows about diet and exercise.
So we talked about sleep, you guys. We talked about managing stress. We talked about the hormone symphony. So the major takeaway there is understanding that there needs to be communication between the hormones in order for you to be successful in any diet or exercise program. We talked about similar foods, different types of foods that they can be eating instead of the sugar versus fat, different things like that. We got the avocado from the farmer's market.
Yep,
and
pure fat, the best thing you can eat.
And we're about to make a new U in 22 juice recipe.
Great.
Right here, right now.
Can't wait. Here's a big misconception. And a lot of people think if you're eating low carb, you can't do this. That is completely wrong. Even Atkins himself ate more vegetables in a day than probably you and I eat in a week. There's nothing incompatible about a rich vegetable juice on a daily basis, twice a day, and eating a lower carb diet.
All right, Fitlifers, so the recipe we're using today is basically the new U in 22 juice recipe. You're absolutely gonna love it. We got a little secret that Johnny's gonna show us after I go through the ingredients. So write this down, or we're gonna leave it on the blog below. We have 1 cucumber, 1 head of romaine lettuce. We have 6 stalks of celery, 1 tomato.
2 tomatoes.
2 tomatoes. We got 1 red pepper as well, 2 lemons. We have a bundle of parsley. You call it a bundle or a bush? Doesn't matter.
Handful looks good to me.
And 2
onions.
shallot onions, red onions we're putting in there. And then what about the last thing we're gonna do with the blender?
It's a secret ingredient. This is what we went to the farmer's market for, avocado. And I did a little sales letter kind of tease thing about 3 foods for fat burning, and this was one of them. And it's always surprising to people because that cockamamie conventional wisdom, which is definitely not wise.
You're gonna get fat eating avocado.
Absolutely the opposite. This is the best natural burning fuel for the body you can find.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
You wanna kick the juicer on? Spike up the caloric load.
I have one of these sometimes for a mini meal. If I'm coming down from work in the afternoon, I'm hungry and I want a snack, I'll just cut up an avocado and eat it.
Instead of a bag of Cheetos or something like that.
Well, I don't even know what that is.
Likewise. Just like
That's
this.
a great way to say. Then you put it in the blender.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And we're only gonna blend it for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't need much. The avocado's nice and soft.
Here we go. Let's kick this on. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
The new you in 22 Jonny Bowden juice recipe. Here it is, dedicated to you.
Oh man.
Is this gonna be your new favorite juice?
This is already, I'm a convert. This is amazing.
Oh!
You got the magic. Now, you
Wow.
see, here's the thing about these.
It's
Very
spicy.
often it's
good though.
so good. This
Cheers.
is really good. Cheers.
Awesome. All right, so tell us a little bit about new you in 22.
So what we do here is to get that metabolism, that infrastructure working right.
Yeah.
And then we got exercise programs, and then you can get the benefit of that stuff. But when you're in a sick body and your metabolism isn't working right, you're not even going to get the benefit of most of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, you showed them how to make the switch in this program, which is
and it
awesome.
can be done in a few weeks.
Yep. So a couple weeks, you guys get committed to this. Check out new you in 22. Click on the link. Thank Jonny for showing up here.
No, thank you for having me.
Dude, this is
absolutely
awesome. Bring it in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like you're my brother from another mother here. And check out his information. Good stuff. Leave a comment on the blog below for a chance to win the juicer. Jonny and I will be answering your comments. He'll be posting up there. Talking to you guys as well. It'll be cool, right? Good. It'll be good to get you talking to the Fitlifers and getting them going. So we're excited. Thank you for taking the time on Saturday. I know you have a lot of other things going on, Fitlifer. Maybe your kids are doing stuff today, but you've committed to being here with Jonny and I in the kitchen at the farmer's market, getting crazy in the Jeep.
It's fun, man.
To take your health to the next level. And we think that's awesome. So should we give them a high five too? And a hug? Here we go. Give them a high five.
High five.
All right, guys. So, all right, Fitlifers, thank you so much for showing up. Drew Canoli, Jonny Bowden. Remember, we're in this together. We'll see you soon.